It'd be really interesting to play all of my Enyas side by side and then just have you analyze that. Let me know if that's a video that you would like to see.
3 weeks later.
Hello, I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Thank you so much for joining me for this Enya Ukulele comparison. So I have 9 Enya Ukuleles in front of me and I'm going to play them side by side and I want to know what you think.
Our battle will be legendary!
Editing Katie, you have your work cut out for you. Filming Katie gets really excited about things, and then once editing Katie gets the footage, it takes a very, very long time to put them together, doesn't it? It's okay, I love you. Just be patient with me. I'm putting these ukuleles into groups, and then I'll talk about each group, and you are going to let me know what you think. Let's get started. I do have full reviews on all 3 of these where I compare the soprano and the concert, where I compare all 3 of these. I have really enjoyed playing these, thoroughly have enjoyed. I strung this with a low G and I use that as my go-to low G now. And it's just really wonderful, especially in shifting humidity and weather. They're just great instruments and I feel like they sound wonderful. These come with me traveling all of the time and it's just great. I don't have to worry about them because they're just going to hold up. I know they're going to hold up. I've played with this in the snow. I've played with this in the rain. I've played with this in direct sunlight. I would say that the only disadvantage to these instruments, especially if you're playing in direct sunlight, and this would happen with any ukulele with a nylon string, is that because when it gets warm, the strings, they have a tendency to loosen up a little bit and then they will lose their tuning. It is just the nature of nylon strings. If you're playing in direct sunlight, it just happens. So it happens with everything. I say that these instruments are just near perfect, except for that factor if you're playing in direct sunlight. These are my go-to travel buddies. And my kids just love playing with these. You know, we sit on the floor and my 1-year-old just strums with her fingers like this, my 2-year-old as well. And my 6-year-old, she's starting to play. It's really exciting. She's like, Mommy, show me a chord. And that's just thrilling. It's just wonderful though that I can just sit down with my kids and just have them strum and not have to worry about whether or not it's just going to crack or break or something like that. It's just really great peace of mind. Are these scratch proof? No. I mean, there's a little bit of scratch, like a little rash right here, and that's Mommy's fault, not any of the kids' fault. Ended up skidding across some rough tile floor. Like, that's the extent of the damage that it has taken. Look at that. And I was really scared. But really, that's the extent of the buckle rash that you would maybe probably call it. But that's pretty much it. These have held up really, really well over the past few years. All 3 cases look the same, have this nice shell. Sometimes people I've seen online complain about this, that if you pull it a little too tight, that the button comes off. But you can just, there you go, see it like that. You can put it back on. Just be gentle. You can't just yank this and then hope for the best. And then some people have complained that the strap is too short, for some, occasions. And yeah, I would like this soprano to be able to fit over my shoulder and my backpack, but it's just not necessarily possible. I am 5'1", very petite. I'm able to put it over my shoulder. It's just, there's no extra room. It's all the way on its longest setting. So I think that's the only disadvantage, I think, for the case. see the K up here, like how come it doesn't have the Enya logo? It is an Enya Ukulele. They were just kind of, I think, playing around with the idea of branching out from their HPL line. I think this was just like the pilot model that they had, because they have this in different colors, several different colors in fact. This is solid mahogany. I think the gloss is really pretty, and I think the gloss is very well done because it's not overdone. Sometimes you have glossy finished ukuleles where I've picked them up and I'm like, I feel like this was just like dipped in like some sort of plaster of Paris, where it's just so incredibly thick, and I'm like, oh my goodness, is the tone even gonna come out of this thing? This is very light. I don't know what the technique that they use in order to make their glossy finish ukuleles, but it's really pretty. The neck is definitely heavier than the body, and that's definitely what you get with a slotted headstock. Some people believe that the slotted headstock, it puts the strings more so at an angle so that there's more tension, and then the strings are more responsive when it comes to like finger picking and things like that. Some people are like, no, that's just a bunch of hooey. You tell me what you think. I think the main criticism that I got from this ukulele when I had other people play it is that it's really beautiful, but it can be really quiet. And so then it does come, the package, last time I checked, it comes with some different strings other than the fluorocarbon. But it is really pretty, very light to the touch. And when I play it, I'm like, oh man, I need to bring this out more often. This is super affordable. I think this is a great instrument, especially if you're looking to just start the ukulele and you're like, what's a great beginner instrument? I think all of the Novas are really great. This one is excellent if you're looking for something more on the traditional side. They also have it in natural. It's really, really nice. It's got that really great woody tone to it, but it doesn't sound too bright, not too dark. Great mids, but also some great projection too. And it just looks really pretty with the star inlays. Or are those flowers? They're flowers. Yes, star flowers. Ha! There you go. Comes with a variety of accessories. You have the strap buttons. I think this would be a perfect beginner ukulele. Well, this one, I feel like the tone has really opened up. I've had this for, I think, since 2020. So like, yeah, it's been 2 years. This just blows my mind. Sorry. Does anybody do that where they're like, oh yeah, I had this since 2020. That can't be 2 years ago. But you hear the difference between, this is the tenor, that's you don't know what I'm pointing at. This is a concert, and then this, I'm almost gonna reach, I'm gonna fall over. This is also a concert too. You can see the beautiful wood grain, and even though this is not a satin finish, I think that, I mean, not a glossy finish. This is a glossy finish. This is a satin finish. I haven't slept in a while. So it's still really beautiful. I love how you can really see the mahogany and even some of the chatoyance.
The flints of the fur.
Chatoyance is the term, it's a jewelry term to describe the shininess of the luster of a gemstone. And yes, you can definitely see some chatoyance in this.
You can shine no matter what you're made of.
It's great for filming because then I don't have to worry about weird reflections. This is beautiful, though. I just love how it brings out the wood grain. The glossy finish is just stunning. It's super beautiful, and also kind of protects the wood a little bit more. You can hear the difference in projection. You know, yes, it's a tenor, and also strings matter. They do. But I just feel like this one has more of a punch. Solid mahogany, this one is solid mahogany, and then this one I believe is a solid top mahogany and laminate mahogany back inside. So that's where you're going to see a price difference. All of the cases, just like the Nova series, are pretty much the same. Standard black. They have a really nice padding to them, to these gig bags, even a padded pocket if you have something that you need to be padded. Same sewn handle, back pat straps if you want, or you could make it, well, single strap here, so you could switch shoulder. It doesn't have a double strap. Is this one? Nope. Boy, the tenor. Nope, single backpack strap, and there's a little loop right here. Yep, they all have this little loop where you can hang it on the door. I think it's a really nice bundle. It's a really nice touch to have this kind of gig bag along with the accessories that it does come with. So, yay. should hear that downstroke. Yeah, do you hear that? That's a really good sustain on the 12th fret. Almost forgot about this one here, so that's why the hair's a little different here. I had to pop back down here and film again. But this is the EUC M6? Yes, EUC M6. So concert, solid mahogany. Should look very similar to the body like this, but you see the cutaway. Yeah, do you see that? And the beautiful fretboard. So this is one of the the very first edition that they did on this particular model. Like I'd said before, it has a wooden fretboard, whereas all of the other Enya Ukuleles now, I believe, have Richlite fretboards. I was doing some research how to clean a Richlite fretboard, and Richlite's YouTube channel popped up, and it just talked about maintenance and care, and really at most you would need to care for this fretboard would be to wipe it down with a slightly damp cloth. So that is completely different from the first model that I have here that's made of a wooden fretboard. All of the newer models have a Richlite fretboard, but if you have an ukulele that is a wooden fretboard, in order to clean it, you should be conditioning it because the necks can dry out. It's wood. It needs to be conditioned and taken care of in that way, where this is it's so incredibly low maintenance, and it looks as pristine as the day that it arrived. It's really quite stunning. There's absolutely no fret sprout on this. It feels perfect. It really does. And that projection on the 12th fret, sorry, the strings just kind of went like, oh, they might have gotten out of tune a little bit, but yeah, that's the 12th fret. And there's the 15th fret. That note, it comes out, the highest one. It doesn't get buried. Sometimes it's easy for an ukulele to sound really nice on the lower part of the fretboard. But when you get to the upper part of the fretboard and it's able to really project, yeah. That's what I'm looking for in an ukulele. This has a beautiful projection. When I play it, I can feel a little bit of sustain through the neck, vibration through the neck, but it still has a lot of really beautiful sustain without a ton of vibration through the neck. No, I can feel some vibration there. Okay, never mind, I take that back. So if you're playing an ukulele and you're like, well, what makes it a good one? If you can play something on the lower part of the neck, and if you're looking to expand and play pieces that are on the upper part of the fretboard, make sure that the sustain and projection is there on the upper part of the fretboard as well. You can do an experiment just by taking like your ring finger or finger, place it on the 12th fret, pluck it, and see how long it takes for the sound to decay. That was a light pluck, and the sustain is really nice. Here's a little harder one. Yeah, that's really, really pretty. Super impressed with it. And not to mention the glossy finish is gorgeous. This is very nostalgic for me because my first guitar, because I started on the guitar, not the ukulele. When I was 18, my dad bought me a blue guitar, and it was beautiful. I still have it, but it's not playable anymore, but it's very nostalgic for me to have something that is of a blue glossy finish because it reminds me of my dad. Equally as impressive as the tone of this, it's the case. This is really industrial. I don't know if it still comes with this case or not. You have to look on the website, but it's not crush proof. It's a beautiful gig bag, I would say, but it does have some structure to it where it's not going to completely fall apart. Let's say you're leaning it up against the wall and then it slips. I think that it would protect the instrument very well. It fits snugly, and it has a neck cradle that you can remove. This portion's really great right here. It's extra thick nylon so that if you have little parts of strings that are sticking out, it's going to not cause like poke holes through this beautiful plush padding. Okay, it does differ from these cases because with this one, see, I can squish down a little bit. There is some padding in there, so it's not completely like you're just putting a nylon sheet over it. There's some padding to it. So these are really nice gig bags. But this one is on another level. double backpack straps. I can do it again. I can do it better. Nope. Okay, so somebody actually requested a video on comparing these two. I am going to make a separate video. So after I film this one, Editing Katie, get ready. I'm going to be filming one that directly compares these two models because they look very, very similar. And I think that it needs its own dedicated video. But from my standpoint, the way that this sounds, the way that this sounds, I feel like that the tones are similar, but different. I feel like that this one has more of a more projection than this one. This one sounds a little bit more mellow. This one sounds has a little bit more high end, like a higher end as in pitch. So I would say that the mids are more pronounced in this one, and the midtones are still very pronounced in this one, but this one has a little bit more of an edge to it. That's how I describe it. I mean, is it just me or do you hear what I hear? You know, I think that both instruments are beautiful in their own right, and they do offer something different, especially, you know, aesthetic wise and tone wise. But a quick comparison of the cases. So here you have a standard gig bag that more so resembles the one of the solid mahoganies that I had compared to, but you have this gorgeous artwork by Sam, so please follow him on Instagram. It's really amazing. Also Taimane too, so support her as well. Incredible musician, incredible artist as well. Just her artistry and musicality, she just really performs. It's really cool. And then this one is $5.99. Look at that. Oh, just bumped the microphone. Look at that. So really, it feels like you're cuddling with a Squishmallow, if you know what a Squishmallow is. Yeah. I have kids, okay? This is what I compare it to. But yeah, it has the neck cradle right there. It even has this portion right here so the strings don't get caught on the plush. So nice and heavy duty. Like, the padding on this is way thicker than the Taimane. And then you have this really cool slick pocket. I mean, the nylon feels really durable. And pocket right here. Pocket's not padded, but it's still, like, there's so much structure to this thing. This is definitely more reinforced and padded, has more bells and whistles than the Taimane. So that's just something to note. Do you have these instruments? What do you think of the tone? Comparing all of these side by side. I have full reviews on all of these instruments featured in this video, and I'm gonna link that in a playlist. Let me know what you think. I love it when I get to talk with you. All of these ukuleles were sent to me, and I am an endorsed artist by Enya. So Enya, thank you so much for sponsoring this video. I really appreciate it. But what really powers these videos is you and your opinions. I will see you soon. Bye.
To infinity and beyond.